it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to play a couple of games live on the ranked ladder so that you can see how my Coalossal team from the rental team video linked up here works live in action. So stick around. Okay, so this is game number 1. First off the bat, I'm seeing the potential for a sun lead with Venusaur and Charizard. The sun setter in this case, I guess, would probably be Prankster Klefki, which is interesting. Of course, Zacian is the restricted. Klefki might actually be a dual weather setter here because Zapdos likes to be in the rain, so that Hurricane is 100% accurate. And Zacian would also like to be in the rain. That way it reduces the chance of fire doing damage to it. So let's lead Coalossal Urshifu. I want to put Zacian in the back, of course, and I think Ensign could be helpful as well in the back. That fake out pressure plus the ability to just like flare blitz Zacian to death. Okay, so I don't actually know what they're gonna do here. I don't know what is happening. I am a little concerned about Flygon. Flygon's a ground type and Coalossal is 4 times weak to ground. I'm more concerned about Flygon than Zapdos at this point. So I think we're gonna go ahead and do a max overgrowth here on the Flygon. That's great because it'll set up some healing to kind of undo a little bit of the damage that Aqua Jet is going to do to Coalossal here. So Urshifu's Aqua Jet, as we could expect, is going to activate Coalossal's weakness policy and its steam engine, so that will outspeed everything on the field. We should hopefully be able to take down Flygon in one hit. I mean, Flygon is not a particularly bulky Pokemon, so let's just kind of see what happens here. Okay, so there's the steam engine and the weakness policy. No Dynamax from the opponent. Oh, okay, so the Flygon is sashed, which is unfortunate. And it's going for an Earthquake. That's what I was a little bit afraid of. I was afraid of seeing that Earthquake. Luckily, it's not very strong. Even though Coalossal is 4 times weak to ground, that Earthquake did not do much damage at all. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. So what we're going to do now is we're going to bring in Incineroar, because Ensign can fake out the Flygon and take it out before we have to worry about it doing anything else. So we'll go for a G-Max Volcalith on the Zapdos, which should be enough to kill it. And then we will fake out the Flygon, and hopefully we should be able to take out the 2 opposing Pokemon before any damage is done to our Pokemon. Now, keep in mind also that the opposing Pokemon are not getting any healing from Grassy Terrain because neither of them are actually sitting on the terrain. Zapdos is a flying type, and Flygon has Levitate. So neither of them are actually getting that healing boost from the Grassy Terrain right now. It's only benefiting my Pokemon. Okay, so I would assume this is a Dynamax on Zapdos now. Probably to try to get it to survive the hit from Coalossal, so we'll just kind of see if this will take Zapdos down. I'm not sure it will, to be honest. Oh, a Max Guard. Okay, that's fine. I'm not that worried about that. That gives us another turn of healing with the Grassy Terrain, so we may potentially be able to survive some hits here. Okay, so I'm really not sure what Klefki is going to do here. If I had to guess, it would set up a light screen, potentially. So that Zapdos can survive the Volcalith. I think our best bet here might be to try to nerf the opposing Zapdos as much as possible with Snarl. Yeah, so there's the light screen. So now the Volcalith definitely will not kill that Dynamax Zapdos for sure. Ooh, but you know what? It would have killed before. That was good damage. For sure. Okay, Okay, Citrus Berry is an interesting choice on Zapdos. It must be sort of a bulkier. Okay. So they're actually not targeting down my Coalossal right now, which is interesting. There's our Citrus Berry recovery. So we should survive another... There we go. Now, after the Snarl, we definitely should survive another max Airstream from the Zapdos. And they take their damage from rocks. So what we're going to do now, I think, is allow the rocks to chip Zapdos down and focus down the Klefki instead. And the reason for that is because Coalossal's going to be using Heat Wave. Actually, no, that's a lie. Coalossal is going to protect this turn because I can maybe expect Zapdos to try to use its last turn of Dynamax to finish Coalossal off. So Coalossal's going to protect, and I think Incineroar is going to go ahead and Flare Blitz, and that is just to take Klefki off the field before Zacian comes in, because we don't want Klefki setting up a Reflect before Zacian comes in. So I'm kind of hoping Klefki will do something else here other than Reflect. Okay, so it is going for a Reflect, which is unfortunate. We do know that they have a Zacian in the back, which is... That was a good protect on Coalossal there. What we want to do now is kind of force Zacian in while Coalossal is still alive. That way we can get a Heat Wave in before Zacian gets an attack off. Oh no. Was Flygon not a Sash then? It doesn't matter because dead to rocks, but no, Klefki's the one that's not sashed. It lived on like 1 HP. It's unfortunate. Okay, so there's their Zacian as expected. So now what we can do, because Coalossal's still on the field, their Zapdos is no longer Dynamax, we should be able to get a Heat Wave in here. The Zapdos is only +1 speed. So I think we should outspeed enough to get a Heat Wave off, plus a Flare Blitz into the Zacian. And keep in mind, we still have our own Zacian in the back, so we're in a really good position right now. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh! Okay, this is fine, this is fine. Coalossal lived on 7 HP, and they didn't double the Coalossal to make sure it would be dead. Plus, Zapdos goes down to rocks, which means that our Heat Wave next turn will be a single target move, so it'll do a little bit more damage to that Zacian. So it sucks that we just missed both of our Heat Waves on that last turn, but it's okay, we're still in a good position here. Now, my Zacian is a max speed Zacian, so if that Zacian is anything less than max speed, we will go before it. If it's also a max speed Zacian, which most Zacian are, then it'll be a speed tie as to whether we go first or it goes first. That may not matter, though, if the Heat Wave that we do manages to kill Zacian from here. Of course, it could miss again. We never know. Yes. Okay. So we had some really bad luck in one turn there, but we still managed to win, and that's because we put ourselves in a really good position by taking out the biggest threats to Coalossal first to make sure that Coalossal could stay on the field as long as possible doing damage. Coalossal, once you get its Steam Engine and its Weakness Policy activated, is a monster on the field. So what you need to do is protect it as good as possible. So remember, we had Coalossal plus Urshifu. We used Urshifu to proc Weakness Policy and Steam Engine, and then when Urshifu died, we brought in Incineroar. Fake Out plus Snarl plus Intimidate helped to protect Coalossal from that opposing Zapdos and help it live when it needed to. Okay, so Sun Team, that's way better for Coalossal, for sure. So this could be a Venusaur Torkoal lead. It could also be a Porygon 2 lead. I'm confused about what Porygon 2 is doing here, though. It doesn't really look like a Trick Room team, that's for sure. Grimmsnarl could be running Trick Eject Button, so there is that. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to just lead Coalossal Urshifu. And the reason for that is because I'm hoping they'll lead Sun, and Urshifu will do a lot less damage to Coalossal and doesn't need to be switched out because it's not locked into Surf the way Dragapult is with its Choice Scarf. Of course, we're going to put Zacian in the back, and I think if we're dealing with Zacian, we do have to bring in Incineroar as well for that big out pressure plus Flare Blitz. Snarl will also be helpful because he's got quite a few special attackers here, and that can help nerf that damage as well, on top of the Intimidate, of course. Okay, so that's interesting. I actually love that they led Landorus there, because that Intimidate will make my Urshifu do less damage to my Coalossal. Here's the thing. Coalossal is 4 times weak to ground. So, I think what we should do here is take down that Landorus for sure. So I think we go for a Volcalith here onto the Landorus. Plus we proc our weakness policy and our steam engine. I think we kind of ignore Zacian. Oh. I did not expect that. We should have gone for a Max Flare onto Zacian. I really expected that Landorus to Dynamax and Max Quake my Coalossal. And that Zacian might even have protected. So that's interesting. Okay, so here's our steam engine. Plus our weakness policy. Okay. Oh! Okay, we live, which is all that really mattered there. Rocks will break any Focus Sash. Zacian doesn't run Focus Sash though, so we don't have to worry about it. It'll just do a little bit of chip damage for us, which is great. What we're gonna do now is I'm gonna Max Flare the Zacian. And I'm going to... Okay, the sun will be up, so our water moves will do less damage. So I'm gonna actually just close combat the P2. Because I want to make absolutely sure it dies, in case it sets up Trick Room or does something else nasty. So there's a flare onto Zacian, which is great. Keep in mind that our Urshifu has Focus Sash, so I'm not super worried about lowering my defense and special defense, because Urshifu is going to live in Yoko anyway. With 1 HP. So that was kind of a perfect move for us. They didn't get to do anything that turn. Okay, so at this point, my Urshifu is double intimidated, plus it's in the sun. So it's not going to be doing a lot of damage right now. So I think what might be the safest move for me is actually to Max Flare the Venusaur, because it's in Sun with Chlorophyll, so it's a pretty big threat to the rest of my Pokemon if Coalossal dies. And I'm actually going to switch Urshifu out for an Incineroar. That way we can get an Intimidate on the Landorus. But I had to guess Venusaur is Dynamaxing here. There's the Dynamax from Venusaur. Hopefully it's not a Max Guard. That would be unfortunate. Okay, and we are faster than the Venusaur with our Steam Engine, which is fantastic. And the Venusaur goes down, so we do not have to worry about it outspeeding all of our other Pokemon. On top of that, because the Landorus is the one who didn't Dynamax instead of Venusaur, it doesn't have access to Max Airstream for speed control. So now there's pretty much no way I can lose, right? We've got Incineroar out here. The Landorus is taking damage from rocks. It's slower than both my Urshifu and Zacian. We're gonna bring out Zacian first, that way we can stall out those sun turns, because Urshifu's water type attacks are super effective against Landorus. So if something happens and Zacian doesn't finish the job, we want Urshifu to come out after the sun is over. And we win. Battle canceled. So Coalossal actually does really well against Sun teams, specifically because most Sun teams run Venusaur, and Venusaur is of course weak to Max Flare. It also does very well against Zacians, right? Because Zacian is also weak to Max Flare. So that was just a couple of quick games with the Coalossal team on the ranked ladder, live, in action. So let me know what you think. Let me know what changes you would make to this team if you were building it. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like it. I'll see y'all later. Bye!